Welcome to Fast Friday here on March 531. We are getting geared up here for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying from the Martinsville Speedway. Clear skies, beautiful weather, scheduled for the entire weekend here in Virginia. Hello everybody, I'm Rick Burton here in the broadcast booth, here to cover single car qualifying for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series as we get set the starting grid for Sunday's STP 500, race number 6 of the 2017 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. 44 cars are here, all getting set to run 2 laps of qualifying here very shortly. 42 cars will start the race, meaning that 2 drivers will go home at the end of this qualifying session. Earlier this afternoon, we had an hour-and-a-half practice session for the drivers and teams to gather information before we turn them loose here in qualifying. Let's check out some of the fastest cars in practice this morning. Jamie McMurray, the number 1, was 5th in the opening practice. Martinsville has always been one of McMurray's better tracks. He's had some success here, some good finishes, and was pretty competitive as he was 5th quickest in practice number 1. Brad Keselowski is still looking for his first grandfather clock. The number 2 Fitzgerald Ford was 4th in practice for Team Penske. Kyle Busch is another driver who has yet to find victory lane here at the Martinsville Speedway in any of NASCAR's top 3 series. Busch was third quickest in practice. The number 78, Martin Truex Jr. is coming off a strong runner-up finish from the Auto Club Speedway 1 week ago, and he's looking to continue his momentum into Martinsville as he was 2nd in practice. But this morning, all drivers were chasing the shell Pennzoil number 22 of Joey Logano. He set the quickest lap in practice this morning at a 19:101 as the fastest lap. As we take a look at the rest of the top 10 on the practice sheet, something to point out is that it was a pretty cloudy morning here when these cars were last on track for that practice session. It was cool, the track had grip and speed, but now after a couple of hours of sitting, the temperature has risen and it's pretty hot and slick. Plus the NASCAR Camping Truck Series, which is also competing here this weekend, had a practice session in between cut practice and this qualifying session. So there is some Truck Series tire rubber on the track, a different tire from what the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series runs on this weekend. So that could come into play on who gets a good lap for qualifying. Now to go back to the qualifying format, you must be inside the top 36 at the end of time trials to guarantee yourself a spot in Sunday's race, as the remaining six spots will be determined based on 2017 owner points. As of right now, the 2 drivers who must qualify on time via the top 36 are the 32 of Joey Gase and the 23 of Corey LaJoie, who is going to be making his 2017 debut for BK Racing. Joey Logano was the quickest, so he'll roll out last in this session. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have the first car on track as NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying is set to begin here at the Martinsville Speedway. And NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying is underway with the first car on track here to qualify, the number 30 of Derek Cope, the first driver to tackle the paperclip here in this session. 44 cars entered. Like we said, 42 will race on Sunday. 2 drivers will go home, and Derek Cope hoping to be one of those 42 starters as he comes off the final corner. Go take the white flag, a 21:91 on lap number 1 for Derek Cope. Derek Cope's last race prior to last weekend came back in 2009 at this racetrack. Cope's hoping to get this car inside the top 36 in speed, but he was, like we said, the slowest in practice, and lap number 2, a 21:61, a pretty good pickup, but that's way slower from what he saw from what he ran in practice. So a 21:61 for Derek Cope. The first lap is in the books here in qualifying. One driver who is under a lot of pressure to post a good time here is the number 32 of Joey Gase, the rookie out of Go Fast Racing, hoping to make his Martinsville debut here on Sunday. In the first 5 races, Joey Gase has failed to qualify in 4 of those races. The only race he's qualified for was, I believe, Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. Joey Gase must qualify inside the top 36 as he runs a 21:55 on lap number 1. That is already quicker than what Derek Cope ran on his second lap. So Joey Gase is already at the top of the board with his first lap in the books. Joey Gase, like we said, that's to be inside the top 36 in qualifying, as he has not enough owner points to get him in on a provisional, as he comes across the line a 21.26 with Joey Gase, a 21.269. Joey Gase now the quickest here of the two cars to qualify. Off turn number 4 comes the rookie Ryan Reed out of Front Row Motorsports. He now takes the green flag for his qualifying run, looking to make his Martinsville debut on Sunday. He's never been at this track before until today when he took laps in practice. Right now he was 42nd in practice. Really struggled a lot trying to find some speed here in qualifying. He completes his first lap, a 21.32 for the rookie Ryan Reed. Right now that puts him in between Joey Gase and Derek Cope at a 21.32, but that is a quicker first lap from what we saw from Joey Gase. So I would assume that Reed can get to the top of the board if he can pick up enough time. He comes across the line. He does. A 21.17, a 21.175 for Ryan Reed. He jumps to the top of the board. He's now the quickest of the first 3 qualifiers here at the Paperclip. Up next now comes the 15 of Stephen Leight out of Premium Motorsports, the 4th qualifier this afternoon. Stephen Leight looking to make his 2nd career NASCAR Spring Up Series start here at the Paperclip. First start came here in 2012 where he finished 34th in his Martinsville debut in the Cup Series. Off the final corner to put his first lap in the books, and it will be a 21.870 for Stephen Leight, a 21.87 for the 15. That is right now 4th quickest of the 4 cars that have now taken time. That is the 3rd quickest first lap of the first 4 qualifiers. Comes off the final corner, completes his run, a 21.420, a 21.42 for Stephen Leight. That is currently 3rd quickest here in qualifying. Now the team that has to qualify on time would be this number 23 car of Corey LaJoie behind the wheel of the Dotted Paper colors this weekend for BK Racing. LaJoie looking to make his Martinsville debut on Sunday, but he has to qualify inside the top 36 in order to do so. LaJoie replacing David Gilliland, who moves over to the 26 car this weekend. Won the Kahne race at New Smyrna to kick off the year. A 21.470 on lap number 1 for Corey LaJoie. That is currently 4th quickest of the 5 cars have now taken time, and LaJoie off the final corner. That's a pretty good first lap, but we'll see what he can do here on lap 2. He picks it up to a 21.142, a 21.14. That is right on top of Ryan Reed. He's now the quickest car here. Corey LaJoie, top of the board here in Cup Series qualifying. As we take a look at David Ragan as he begins his qualifying run, we do want to point out and mention that in order to race on Sunday, you have to be inside the top 36. Well, think of it this way: you have to be 8 cars in order to race. You need to be quicker than 8 cars at the end of this session, and you will get a spot no matter what, no matter where you are in honor points. David Ragan takes the white flag. Right now, his Brandy Chevrolet, a 21.54 on lap number 1 for David Ragan. 5th quickest on that first lap. Into turn number 3. Ragan hoping to pick up and get into near the top of the board. He's not going to do it though. A 21.333, a 21.33. That will be 4th quickest for David Ragan. 4th quickest of the 6 cars who have now qualified here for the STP 500. Up next now comes the Tommy Baldwin Racing Chevrolet of Cole Whitt. The Speed Stick Gear Chevrolet. Enters turn number 1. The 7th qualifier, the number 7 of Cole Whitt. Right now, Corey LaJoie is still the quickest. Ryan Reed 2nd, Joey Gase, David Ragan, Stephen Leight, and Derek Cope the top 6 as Whitt comes across the line. A 21.410 for Cole Whitt. In the 7, that would put him 5th quickest of the 7 cars based on his first lap. We'll see that'll be enough to take the pull away from Corey LaJoie and Ryan Reed. Right now the two quickest cars. Comes out the final corner down to the line. A 21.201, a 21.20 for Cole Whitt. That is currently third quickest for the number 7. Now, as we take a look at the number 93 of Ryan Ellis, the more cars that Corey LaJoie can beat, the possibility of him locking a spot in the field is pretty likely. But if LaJoie does make it in, that would put his rookie teammate Ryan Ellis on the bubble to make the race. That really puts Ryan Ellis in a position that he has to qualify inside the top 36. Should LaJoie make the field on time, a 21.58 on his first lap for Ryan Ellis. BK Racing, like we said, fielded to 4 full-time Toyotas here in 2017. Right now, 2 of them have to really try to qualify on time. Ryan Ellis at 21.58 to a 21.322 for Ryan Ellis. A 21.32 puts him 5th quickest of the now 8 drivers to qualify for Sunday's race. Up next to qualify now comes the number 55, Regan Sorenson. Takes the green flag, no sponsors on this car this weekend. Just a black Chevrolet on track, just took the green flag, rolling out of tournament 2 down the backstretch. And now at this point we will find out if Corey LaJoie can lock himself a spot in the field. Because if he runs quicker than Sorenson, LaJoie would have beaten 8 cars. At 8 cars he would need to make the top 36 on speed and race on Sunday. And right now that looks pretty good as Regan Sorenson just running a 21.63 on lap number 1 for Regan Sorenson. Comes off the final corner down to the checker flag. It's in the air for the 55, and it will be a 21.329 for Regan Sorenson right behind Ryan Ellis. Sorenson slots in 6th overall of the now 9 drivers to qualify for the STP 500. Up next to qualify comes the number 83 of Michael Annett. The Pilot Flying J Toyota for BK Racing takes the green flag. Michael Annett was 35th in practice, so this team looking to try to find some speed here this weekend. Coming out of turn number 4, right now his teammate Corey LaJoie is currently the quickest at a 21.142. And for Annett, he runs a 21.422 on his first lap. A pretty good first lap for Michael Annett compared to what Corey LaJoie ran. Into turn number 3, off of turn number 4, to complete his run. Can Annett pick it up? A 21.088, a 21.08 for Michael Annett. That will put him at the top of the board. Michael Annett now the new current pole sitter here from Martinsville. Off turn number 4 comes the number 27 Valvoline Chevrolet of Paul Menard out of H. Scott Motorsports. He takes the green flag. The Menard Chevrolet carrying the Valvoline colors this weekend. Going down into turn number 3 from the spectator view to complete his first lap. Right now, David Ragan is currently 8th quickest of the 10 qualifiers, and from Paul Menard, that's the fastest first lap we've seen all day long. A 21.377. Paul Menard now the quickest first lap we've seen so far. Now he's not at the top yet, but can he pick up enough to go and take the pull away from Michael Annett? He does a 21.063, a 21.06 for Paul Menard. He's now the new quickest car here in Cup Series qualifying. 11 drivers have qualified. Now here comes the number 26, the final BK Racing car to go out to qualify, the number 26 of David Gilliland. This 26 car is a little bit further up in the owner points. David Gilliland has failed to qualify for the past 2 races, so he moves over to the number 26. He is just seated up for Corey LaJoie here this weekend. And David Gilliland was pretty good in practice. He was the fastest BK car, but his first lap doesn't really show it. A 21.706 for David Gilliland. That's right now the slowest time we've seen all day long in Cup qualifying. Currently 12th on the board from his first lap. Off the final corner now, do the checker flag for David Gilliland. A 21.364, pretty good pickup. That right now puts him 10th overall of the 12 cars to qualify. 10th quickest for David Gilliland at a 21.36. The Levine Family Racing Chevrolet now takes the green flag. Michael McDowell behind the wheel, the Caleb colors this weekend. Michael McDowell made his NASCAR Speed Up Series debut right here back in 2008, over 9 years ago for Michael McDowell. And for the first time in his career, he has a full-time ride in the number 95 for Levine Family Racing. Comes off the final corner down to the white flag, a 21.302, and that is the fastest first lap we've seen so far. Michael McDowell a 21.302 on lap number 1 for Michael McDowell. Coming off the final corner down to the checker flag, and it will be a 21.025 for Michael McDowell. That puts him at the top of the board in qualifying. Of the 13 qualifiers, he's now the quickest at a 21.02 for Michael McDowell. Up next now is the Geico Chevrolet of Kasey Mears. Comes across the line to take the green flag. The number 13 Germain Racing Chevrolet has a technical alliance with the 95 Levine Family Racing, along with the RCR teams and the 47 team of A.J. Allmendinger. Kasey Mears' team has a lot of support, and coming off the final corner to post a time will be a 21.276, a great first lap for Kasey Mears. And I believe that is the quickest first lap we've seen so far. Geico colors Kasey Mears off the final corner. Can he get to the top of the board and beat Michael McDowell at a 21.025? No, he does not. He comes up a little bit short, a 21.040, 15/1000 slower than Michael McDowell, Michael McDowell for Kasey Mears. That will put Kasey Mears second quickest in the Geico Chevrolet. Number 16, Greg Biffle takes the green flag. Greg Biffle's never won a short track race in the NASCAR Speed Up Series. In the Ness & Fuel Ford, outside the top 25 in practice. Hoping to find some speed here in qualifying for Greg Biffle. Coming off the final corner to complete his first lap, and it will be a 21.078, and that is no doubt the quickest first lap we've seen. Greg Biffle, a 21.078. That is already fourth quickest on lap number 1. But you can tell from a guy like Greg Biffle, a competitive team like Rouse Fenway, the speeds are way slower than what we saw in practice. And he runs a 28.39, the first driver to dip into the 22nd bracket. A 20.83 for Greg Biffle. That puts him at the top of the board here in qualifying. Here comes Biffle's teammate, the number 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. out of Rouse Fenway Racing. Stenhouse had a great weekend 1 week ago at Auto Club. Qualified well and finished well. Got a third place finish out of the weekend. Moved him up in the points. Now hoping to carry that success here to the short track where he hasn't really had a lot of success at in the past, but hoping to change that as he puts down a 21.081 on lap number 1 for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. A little bit slower first lap from what Greg Biffle ran, but not by much. Stenhouse in the turn 3. Picks up the gas, comes off the corner, and what will he do here on lap number 2? A 20.854, a 20.85 for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That is currently second overall, right behind teammate Greg Biffle. Stenhouse second overall in the 17. Up next comes the number 20 of Matt Kenseth out of Joe Gibbs Racing, the Tide Pods Toyota for the number 20 of Matt Kenseth. The guy who looked like he was going to take the checker flag 1 week ago at Auto Club until a late race caution came out. Kenseth came down pit road, restarted outside the top 20, but was able to make his way into the top 10 in the final 2 laps. Unable though to take the checker flag, and he's now still winless here in 2017. And lap number 1, a 20.956 for Matt Kenseth. And that is no doubt the quickest first lap we've seen in qualifying. Matt Kenseth never won here at the Martinsville Speedway. Hoping to change that on Sunday. Comes out the final corner, and he'll post a 27:30, a 20:73 for Matt Kenseth. That's now the quickest lap here. He jumps to the top of the board at a 20:73 for Matt Kenseth. Up next to qualify comes the number 44 of Regan Smith out of Richard Petty Motorsports. The AAA 4 going down in the turn number 1. Heading down the back straightaway, the first RPM car to go on track. His teammate Aric Almirola was a little bit quicker in practice this morning. Regan Smith comes off the final corner down to complete lap number 1 and put Regan Smith at a 21:23 from lap number 1 for Regan Smith. Did not get a good qualifying lap last weekend at the Auto Club Speedway. Qualified outside the top 30, hoping to try to get a little bit of a better starting spot here for Sunday. Down to the line, he picks it up to a 21:010, a 21:01 for Regan Smith, 4th quickest overall for the 44 of Regan Smith. Off turn number 4 comes another rookie, Dillon, taking the green flag in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. For Richard Childress Racing, he was 26 in practice, looking to make his Paperclip debut in the Cup Series. Was not that good in practice, like we said, 26 overall. Right now, trying to get a good lap here on lap number 1. He comes out the final corner down to the line. It'll be a 21:203 for the 33 of Dillon. Dillon has a couple of Truck Series starts here at the Paperclip. Comes out the final corner, hoping to get a good spot for his Cup Series debut at the Paperclip on Sunday. Across the line, a 29:72. That is a 20:97. That will slot Dillon in the 4th spot, as Dillon, a 20:97, 4th quickest for Dillon. Up next comes NASCAR's most popular driver, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 88 Nationwide Chevrolet. Dale Jr. 25th in practice, the slowest of the Hendrick cars in practice this morning. Had a good run going around the 13th spot at the Auto Club Speedway 1 week ago until contact with Erik Jones late in the race. It ended up really deciding who won the race. Dale Jr. brought out that yellow that set us up for a green-white checker finish, and lap number 1, a 28:79. A great first lap by Dale Earnhardt Jr. 6th quickest on lap number 1. Can he pick it up and knock the 20 of Matt Kenseth off the pole? A 26:69. He does. Top of the board goes Dale Earnhardt Jr. at a 20:66. Number 88 on point here at Martinsville. Up next comes number 38 of Landon Cassill, the MDS Transport Ford out of Front Row Motorsports. 24th in practice. Not really a bad practice session for Landon Cassill and his teammate Chris Buescher. They were inside the top 25 in practice. On the other hand, Ryan Reed, their rookie teammate, was down in 42nd. Landon Cassill comes off the final corner, a 21:41 on lap number 1 for Landon Cassill. Kind of a disappointing first lap for the 38. The first lap you get pretty much set the tone of what your lap 2 is going to be. The time area it'll be. Not really a good first lap for Landon Cassill. Picks it up to a 21:10, a 21:102. That's only 11th quickest for the 38 of Landon Cassill. Now we saw Landon Cassill go out. Didn't really have a lot of luck on his qualifying run. Let's see what his teammate Chris Buescher can do here in the number 34. He'll be making his Martinsville debut on Sunday in the STP 500. Chris Buescher 23rd in practice in the number 34 Dockside Logistics Ford. Coming at you number 4 to put down his first lap time. And it will be a 21:45, a 21:458 for Chris Buescher. I believe that's even slower than what Landon Cassill ran on his first lap. So the front row cars had a little bit of hope going into this qualifying session, but right now they're being let down. Landon Cassill 11th, And Chris Buescher a 21.254. That will put Chris Buescher 15th quickest of the drivers who have now taken time. Buescher 15th at a 21.25. Up next now comes the final Roush Fenway Ford to hit the track, the number 6 of Trevor Bayne. The number 6 Advocare Ford goes down to turn number 1 right now. His two teammates are currently 3rd and 4th, with Greg Biffle 3rd and Ricky Stenhouse currently 4th quickest at the moment. Trevor Bayne coming off the final corner to put down lap number 1 in the books, and it will be a 21.125, a 21.12 for Trevor Bayne on lap number 1. He's at a 21.12. That's a pretty good chance that he'll get into the 22nd bracket, which would put him at least in the top 5. Depends on how much he can pick up here on lap number 2, down to the checker flag, and he picks it up to a 28.92, a 20.89 for Trevor Bayne. That is 5th quickest in the number 6 for Trevor Bayne. Number 41, Kurt Busch on track now, the Monster Energy Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing, the first Stewart-Haas car to go on track here in qualifying. Kurt Busch won the pole last weekend at the Auto Club Speedway and was able to back it up with a top 5 finish in the race. Got 4th place if I remember correctly. Coming off the final corner to put lap number 1 on the board for Kurt Busch, a 21.191 for Kurt Busch. Not a bad first lap, but that's not really enough to get him to allow him to challenge Dale Jr. for the pole. Right now, Dale Jr. is still the quickest. Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle, Ricky Stenhouse, and Trevor Bayne, the top 5. And Kurt Busch comes across the line a 29.30, a 20.93 for Kurt Busch. That would put him 6th quickest of the now 24 cars to take time here in STP 500 qualifying. On track down the number 19 of Carl Edwards out of Joe Gibbs Racing, the second Gibbs car to go out to qualify. Carl Edwards coming off his first top 10 of the year last week in that Auto Club. In fact, came out of there with a top 5 after he stayed out of pit road on that last caution. Edwards stayed out and was able to get a 5th place finish. His first top 10 of the year for Carl Edwards. And lap number 1, a 29.96. A pretty good competitive first lap there for the 19. Let's see what he can do here on lap number 2. A 29.96 would put him 6th or 7th quickest at the moment. Edwards off the final corner down to the checker flag. He picks it up to a 20.78. A 27.82 for Carl Edwards. That would put him 3rd quickest for the 19. 3rd quickest for Carl Edwards. Up next to qualify is the number 42 of Kyle Larson, rolling into Martinsville with a lot of momentum coming off his 2nd career win in the NASCAR Spam Series 1 week ago at the Auto Club Speedway. Larson stayed out of pit road when the leaders came down pit lane. Larson was able to hold off a Truex Jr. and Ricky Stenhouse to hold on for his 2nd career win. Kyle Larson on track now, completed lap number 1 at a 21.14 for Kyle Larson in the Energizer Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. Kyle Larson was outside the top 20 in practice. Has not really had that much of a good handling race car so far this afternoon, and right now it looks like he may still have a ill handling car. Picks it up to a 20.90. A 29.02 for Kyle Larson. That would put him 7th quickest in the number 42 for Chip Ganassi Racing. The number 5, Kasey Kahne, willing the driver in hunger colors this weekend at the Paperclip. Takes the green flag. The 2nd Hendrick car to go out to qualify. Right now, Kasey Kahne's teammate Dillon Jr. right now is the current pole center at a 26.69. Let's see what Kasey Kahne can post here on lap number 1 to see. That would be a realistic time to go and grab the pole away from teammate 88. Across the line he goes at a 29.41 for the 5 of Kasey Kahne. A former pole center here at the Paperclip for the 5 car, but has never been in victory lane. He's won at Richmond, he's won at Bristol, but unable to get a checker flag here at the Paperclip. Comes across the line, he picks it up a 20.71, a 27.10. That is only good enough for 2nd, but it's still a good lap by Kasey Kahne right behind teammate Dale Jr. second quickest for Kasey Kahne. The number 11, Denny Hamlin, has a good bit of grandfather clocks here from the Martinsville Speedway, and I'm sure he would like to add another one to his collection on Sunday, try to ease the pain from a disappointing result at the Auto Club Speedway 1 week ago. Qualified 7th, led the most laps, unable to get the checker flag though at the end when he came down pit road. A poor call by the crew chief for Denny Hamlin. Cross line, he goes on lap number 1. A pretty good first lap by Denny Hamlin, a 20.87 for Denny Hamlin. Let's see what he can do here on lap number 2. He is on pace to possibly outrun the 88 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. A 26.69 is the time to beat, and he beats it a 26.48 by Denny Hamlin. He now goes to the top of the board. And the number 11 for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin, now the quickest here at Martinsville. The Wood brothers, number 21, Ryan Blaney, now takes the green flag, the sophomore driver out of Dawsonville, Georgia. Takes the green flag, Ryan Blaney out of Wood Brothers Racing. 16th in practice. Still looking for his first career NASCAR spring. I'm sure he's win, and possibly could he come on Sunday. Off of turn number 4, lap number 1, a 29.39 by Ryan Blaney. A pretty good first lap by the 21 of Ryan Blaney. Could that knock Denny Hamlin off the pole? That might be a little bit of a stretch. Possibly a front row start, maybe a top 5, possibly. Coming out turn number 4 to take the checker flag for Ryan Blaney, it will be a 27.23 for Ryan Blaney, a 20.72. That will be 4th quickest for the 21 of Ryan Blaney. Up next now comes number 10 of Brian Vickers out of Stenhouse Racing. He takes the green flag. Qualified 2nd last week in that Auto Club, but ended up coming down pit road late in the race. And we keep talking about that strategy call to come down pit road at Auto Club. We keep talking about that, but you know what? It affected a lot of drivers and really hurt a lot of guys that shot at a good finish. Brian Vickers was one of them. He got 21st at Auto Club. A 21.034 on lap number 1 for the 10 car. He qualified on the front row with his teammate Kurt Busch at Auto Club, and right now neither him or either Brian Vickers or Kurt Busch is on track to possibly get a top 5 lap, or even a top 10 starting spot on Sunday. Coming off to number 4, a 28.09 for Brian Vickers on that lap. That would put Vickers 7th quickest in the 10 car at a 20.80 for Brian Vickers. Off of turn number 4 comes the number 24 Red Cross Chevrolet at Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, the number 24. Coming out turn number 2 down the backstretch from Dawsonville, Georgia, son of Bill Elliott. Coming out of the final corner, what will it be for the 24? Right now his 2 teammates are currently 1st and 2nd, but Elliott not on pace. A 21.020 on lap number 1 for the 24 Chase Elliott. That's around the time we just saw Brian Vickers run on his first lap, and right now that's nowhere near Dale Jr. and Kasey Kahne. They're actually 2nd and 3rd, not 1st and 2nd. Elliott across the line, a 27.95 for Chase Elliott. He bumps Vickers back 1 spot as Elliott jumps to 7th quickest on the board at a 20.79 for Chase Elliott. The Wicks Filter Chevrolet, Ryan Inman takes the green flag for RCR. Ryan Inman has 1 win here back in 2013. We all remember that finish with him, Jeff Gordon, and Jimmie Johnson and Clint Bowyer. Going down 3 wide in turn 1, it gave Ryan Inman the shot to hold off AJ Allmendinger and pick up his 1 and only win here at the Paperclip. Newman would love to have a finish like that on Sunday, which would put him in victory lane. Right now, a 21.171. That's not what he was hoping for, though, in qualifying. A 21.17 on lap number 1 for Ryan Newman. He's the 2nd RCR car to go out to qualify. Ty Dillon's already went out. And for Newman, it'll be a 29.58, a 20.95 for Ryan Newman, as only 14th quickest in the number 31 with only 12 cars left to qualify. Next up comes the number 14 of Clint Bowyer, the 5-hour Energy Ford for Stenhouse Racing. Right now his 2 teammates Brian Vickers and Kurt Busch not that quick right now, both outside the top 5. Kurt Busch outside the top 10 at the moment in 13th place. For Clint Bowyer, hoping to try to get at least one Stewart-Haas car inside the top 10 at the end of qualifying. Brings his number 14 down to the white flag. It'll be a 21.016 on lap number 1 for Clint Bowyer. Bowyer, another driver looking for his first ever grandfather clock on Sunday. He's been close here a couple of times. He's led a lot of laps here. Has been unable to get the checker flag. Off the final corner, it will be a 27.55 for Clint Bowyer. That is going to be 6th quickest for the 14 of Bowyer at a 20.75 for Clint Bowyer. Next up comes number 48 of Jimmie Johnson, the Lowe's Chevrolet, a 9-time Martinsville winner. Hoping to get number 10 on Sunday for the 6-time series champion Jimmie Johnson. One win in 2017 coming at Phoenix a couple of races ago. Goes out the final corner to complete lap number 1, and it will be a 21.045 for Jimmie Johnson. Now we saw Dale Jr. and Kasey Kahne go out. They set pretty good lap times. Then we saw Chase Elliott. He's pretty much in the middle, and Johnson around the same area, a 21.045. Not really a good lap for Jimmie Johnson. And lap number 2, a 28.13 for the number 48 of Jimmie Johnson. That would put him, I believe, 10th quickest in the number 48, with now 10 cars left to qualify. 10th quickest for Jimmie Johnson. Up next to qualify is the number 4 of Kevin Harvick, the Busch Light Beard Ford out of Stewart-Haas Racing, the final Stewart-Haas car to go out to qualify. Harvick was 10th in practice. These next 10 cars were the 10 quickest cars in practice earlier this afternoon. Can Harvick knock off Denny Hamlin for the pole? Off the final corner, it will be on lap number 1, a 29.20 for Kevin Harvick on lap number 1. That's not a bad first lap, but will it be enough to get a front row spot away from Denny Hamlin or Dale Earnhardt Jr.? Off the final corner down to the checker flag, he seems to be the only Stewart-Haas car with a lot of speed right now. A 26.96 for Kevin Harvick. A nice lap with the 4, 3rd quickest for the number 4, Kevin Harvick, 3rd quickest, with now 9 cars left to qualify. One of the best looking cars here at the Speedway this weekend would be no doubt the 43 of Aric Almirola, the STP colors on the number 43 of Aric Almirola out of Richard Petty Motorsports. 9th in practice for Aric Almirola. Hoping to back it up with a nice run here in qualifying. Coming out the final corner, let's see what Almirola has in store for us on lap number 1. It will be a 21.208. One of the slowest first laps we've seen in quite a while in the session. Aric Almirola, a 21.20 for Aric Almirola. Entering turn 3, hoping to pick it up, at least get a top 15 run out of it, as it won't be what he was, not what he was hoping for. A 29.02 for the 43, as only 16th quickest for Aric Almirola, a 20.90 for the 43. 8th quickest in practice, belonging to the number 77 of Erik Jones, the Hisense number 77 Toyota for Furniture Row Racing. Erik Jones running double duty here this weekend. He'll be competing in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series race tomorrow for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Try to get a little bit more track time as he gets set for his Cup Series Martinsville debut on Sunday. Lap number 1 for Erik Jones, it will be a 29.46 for the number 77. A nice lap by Erik Jones on lap number 1. His teammate Martin Truex was 2nd in practice. He'll be going out in not too long from now. But for Jones, the quickest rookie in practice, a 27.04 for Erik Jones. That'll be 4th quickest for the rookie, Erik Jones, at a 20.70 for the 77. Up next now comes number 3 of Austin Dillon, the Lucas Oil Chevrolet for RCR. Takes the green flag here in qualifying. Dillon was 7th overall in practice this morning. Right now, though, his teammates Ryan Newman, Ty Dillon, they're outside the top 15 at the moment. Let's see what Austin can do here on lap number 1. A 21.088 for Austin Dillon on lap number 1. That's far off from what he ran in practice. Hoping to see if he can pick it up here in turn 3 and 4. Here on lap number 2 for Austin Dillon. He comes across the line, and it will be a 28.45, a 20.84 for Austin Dillon. That's only 14th quickest for the number 3 of Austin Dillon. Up next is the number 47 of AJ Allmendinger out of JTG Doherty Racing. Has a runner-up finish here back in 2013. Or sorry, 2012 it was. 2012 when he was driving for Team Penske. AJ Allmendinger, the number 47 Kingsford Kroger Chevrolet, comes off the final corner. He was 6th in practice. And lap number 1, he has a 21.042 on the board for AJ Allmendinger. You look at Allmendinger's best tracks being Sonoma and Watkins Glen. But if you were to count an oval as one of his best tracks, Martinsville would certainly be at the top of that list. Has many top 10s here in the past. And down into the checker flag, it is a 28.22, a 20.82 for AJ Allmendinger. That is right now 13th quickest in the 47. 5 cars left to qualify. Up next comes the number 1 of Jamie McMurray, the Cessna Chevrolet for Chip Ganassi Racing. 5th in practice. Does McMurray have a shot at the pole? It'll be McMurray, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Truex, and Logano. Right now, Denny Hamlin is still the quickest at a 26.48. Can McMurray top him on lap number 1? A 29.53, a pretty good first lap by McMurray. Not sure that'll be enough for the pole, but that should be a top 10 starting spot right there on lap number 1. Depends how much he can pick up here on lap number 2. Right now, his teammate Kyle Larson might back outside the top 15. But for McMurray, a 27.18, a 20.71. That would put him at least maybe inside the top 10 on race day. McMurray is 6th quickest at a 20.71 for Jamie McMurray. Only 4 cars left to qualify. Up next now comes the number 2 of Brad Keselowski, the Fitzgerald Ford for Roger Penske. Right now, Keselowski, his time to beat, like we have said, is a 26.48 set by Denny Hamlin. And lap number 1 coming off the final corner down on the white flag. What will lap number 1 have in store for us? A 28.82. That's a pretty good first lap by Brad Keselowski. A really nice first lap. Now can he capitalize and get a better run here on lap number 2 and challenge Denny Hamlin for the pole? It's been about 13 cars since Hamlin went out on track. And it'll be a 26.37. Top of the board goes Brad Keselowski. A 20.63. Put the number 2 on point. Brad Keselowski now the quickest here in Cup Series qualifying. Up next now, the number 18 M&M's Toyota of Kyle Busch. Number 18 out of Joe Gibbs Racing. The final Gibbs car to go out to qualify. 3rd in practice. And Busch had a nice run going at Auto Club last week, but got contact with Jimmie Johnson on the last lap and did not get the result he was hoping for. Coming out the final corner for Kyle Busch. Lap number 1, it will be a 28.44 for Kyle Busch. I cannot remember the lap time Keselowski had on lap number 1, but that is a pretty dang good first lap for Kyle Busch. A 26.37 is the lap to beat, set by Brad Keselowski. Can Kyle Busch top him? A 26.39 for Kyle Busch in the 18. 2 1,000ths behind the 2 of Keselowski. 2nd quickest for Kyle Busch. Misses it by 2 1,000ths of a second. 2nd fastest for Kyle Busch. 2 cars left to qualify. Up next, number 78, Furniture Road Toyota of Martin Truex Jr. Grabbed his best finish of the year 1 week ago at Auto Club. 2nd place to Kyle Larson. Hoping for 1 spot better. He was 2nd in practice. Right now, Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Hamlin, Earnhardt, and Truex. Your top 5. Erik Jones, Truex's teammate, is 7th. And for Truex, a 29.31 on lap number 1 for Martin Truex. That lap might put him in, that first lap might help him get inside the top 5, but I did not see Truex having a shot at the pole from his first lap unless he has a huge pickup here on lap number 2. He comes across the line, takes the checker flag, a 26.76, a 20.67. That is 5th quickest for Martin Truex Jr., 5th quickest for the 78. But there is only one more car left to go, the 22 of Joey Logano, the quickest car in practice. His teammate Brad Keselowski currently holds down the number 1 spot at a 20.63. For Logano, same setup, same organization. Does Logano have a better shot at beating Keselowski? Lap number 1 for Logano. A 28.61 for Joey Logano. That first lap is slower than what Keselowski and Kyle Busch both ran. Is that going to decide who wins the pole between the two Penske teammates? Off the final corner, can Logano knock the 2 car off the pole? A 26.46. No, he does not. 3rd quickest for Joey Logano, which means Brad Keselowski is on the pole for Sunday's STP 500 here at the Martinsville Speedway. So Logano comes up a little bit short, 3rd quickest, 8 1,000 slower from 9 1,000 slower from what Brad Keselowski ran. So the front row, Brad Keselowski and Kyle Busch, 2 drivers looking for their first ever grandfather clock. They will lead the field down the green in Sunday's STP 500. Let's take a look at the full starting grid for Sunday's race. Keselowski and Busch front row, obviously. And then we had Logano and Denny Hamlin, who was quickest for a long time. He ends up 4th. Dale Jr. and Martin Truex Jr. Kevin Harvick, Erik Jones, Kasey Kahne, and Jamie McMurray. They complete your top 10 here in qualifying. Ryan Blaney and Matt Kenseth, you're a top 12 for Sunday's race. Look further down, Clint Bowyer 13th, Carl Edwards 14th, Chase Elliott, top 15 run by the 24, and Vickers, Johnson, Allmendinger, Biffle, and Austin Dillon, your top 20. Aric Almirola completes your top 24. There's Kyle Larson, 2031 last weekend. He'll start 23rd in the 42 car. 25th on back, Kurt Busch won the pole last weekend, ends up 25th this weekend. He'll have a long way to go to try to get a 2nd straight top 5 finish for the 41 team. Ty Dillon 27th, Casey Mears 30th, Corey LaJoie 34th, Ryan Reed 35th, and Cole Whitt 36th. Corey LaJoie does qualify for the race. And then on the final page, the 2 drivers, as you see, who do not qualify for Sunday's STP 500, Joey Gase and Ryan Ellis, they both failed to qualify for Sunday's afternoon's STP 500. So Joey Gase and Ellis will go home. The other 42 drivers will get set to compete in the race, in the 6th race of the 2017 NASCAR Spring Cup Series season. So congratulations to the number 2, Brad Keselowski, on the pole. He'll lead the field down to green in the number 2 Fitzgerald Ford for Team Penske. Up next on-track activity will be NASCAR Camping Road Truck Series qualifying here from the Martinsville Speedway. That is early in the morning tomorrow, early Saturday morning at 9 o'clock sharp for Truck Series qualifying. Later on after that, we'll have Truck Series action, the Alpha Energy Solutions 250, the Truck Series race. That is tomorrow afternoon here on March 531. You can go to our website, NASCARMockseason.weebly.com, to catch the full starting grid on the website if you did not catch it here in the video. And that is all here for our broadcast in NASCAR Spring Cup Series qualifying. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch, front row, and we will see you tomorrow for NASCAR Camping Road Truck Series qualifying here from the Martinsville Speedway. Goodbye, everyone.